Dear diarrhea, diary full of shit. Just play. Me. Diary full of shit. Just play along me, myself, and I, and no one else. Yo, I'm so legit. This is a public service announcement. Remember in what the audio, dear online family and friends who listen in intently and hang on my every word. When I had said, I didn't trust that email that I got. I guess I wasn't clear. I didn't give at least the real names. Their names were, you know, Joe Blow and you know um, Jim Bim. You know what I mean? Which is just fuck off. And like I said, I would get the two. Now I'm just getting the one from Joe Blow. Like I said, the emoji and strap in, and all that shit. Just stupid. You know what I mean? I got an email from Verizon. It says, would you like to save, $10 a month, $120 a year, blah blah blah. Um, what you do is you don't open that email. You call Verizon, on one of your bills. Don't look it up on the fucking internet. Get it from one of your paper bills. Because they could put out, some fake shit that's out there. Maybe you'll click on it, maybe you won't. But because I'm the type I like paper, and I keep track of that stuff, and once I get too much, I just burn it, turn it into ash and mix it into the soil. I keep a year's worth. I mean, taxes, you're supposed to keep 7 years, I heard at one point. I should probably check that and make sure that it's still the same. In case you get audited, you just, okay, here's all my shit. And then, the 8th year, you can get rid of it. I'll have to double check on that. Anyway, some things you want to keep like forever, like all my house stuff, all the plans and whatnot, certificate of occupancy, all that stuff. So anyway, and then you ask them, but you always contact them through legitimate means that are legitimate. You get an email, from your mom saying, honey, your father's, having health issues. You do not open that email. You call your mom. Because it's an arms race, and these scammers, these white collar, magic air, scum of the earth, and I truly mean that, it's not just, oh, they're a nuisance, they are absolute scum. They are a cancer, a disease, as a lot of people are, They are, But fortunately, life is pretty easy for most people these days. Even if you're, just above broke, and living for the weekend, cigarettes and beer, you're still, here in America, you're still, you're living pretty good, and I always remember, back in the day, I've heard this before, I mean, even people, who are like live in poverty still live, better than kings, back in the 1200s and stuff. But, have you ever seen a broke person that, or let me put it this way, there's a lot of broke people out there who are fat, and all that, so You got guys like my future bestie Cool Breeze, who lost weight, who was working 2 jobs and this, that, and the other. But then you got your dregs and lowlifes and, stuff. It's like, well, you seem to be living fairly comfortably, I mean, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's like life is hard. That's why I get high every day. And it's like, well, that's kind of a luxury that you're abusing. You know what I mean? There's the people, you know, like the, who maybe take a hit off the hookah, even if it's just daily, it's just like to relax in the evening or whatever, they're not abusing it. Same thing with the alcoholic. You know what I mean? Do you buy a bottle and it lasts you, a year? Even if you drink just a little bit every day, which is still too much, it's going to do a number on your liver, but, versus someone like me. And I've admitted I'm a piece of shit. That's the difference between me and my peers is, I look at myself in the mirror and recognize, worthlessness. But, I do my part, I'm conservative and stuff, en masse, from 20,000 foot view, I'm conservative, my carbon footprint, not only for me, but, the world, But, and that's just how I think, every time I take a shit, I think about, the process of, how the toilet works, and it gravity fed down into the pipes and down into the septic system and the leach field, and when it slowly gets full of the solids, you gotta have it come out, pumped. And, plastic, which is once biomass, which is refined into the petroleum product that was turned into a plastic pipe and sold to construction companies, and it was brought out on a truck. If you got it, a truck brought it. Not if you made the conscious decision to buy it, but if you got it. Everything around you, at one point, it was on a truck, from the ceiling to the floor and everything outside the door. Everything that's man-made. The food in your fridge, the refrigerator, from the raw material to the finished product. The metal in your house, that was dirt. It came from a mine, and they separated, out the iron and the aluminums and all that. The wiring in your house, the copper. And it's just like Mike Rowe said, back in the day when he did a video. It's like, I don't remember exactly how I said it, but he's, something like, every time you turn on a light switch, everything that went into that. Well, I do actually think about that stuff, and I always have, even before that show, Dirty Jobs. I used to watch that back in the day. It's since run its course now. He's a normal thinker, solid dude, as far as I know. Anyway, I don't remember what I was talking about, but, oh yeah, just bad people. But anyway, yeah, I was buying like, 3 bottles a month, the big bottle of the Kraken rum. Anyway, it'll be nice when my liver's done recovering, because I enjoy a cold beer. I'm going to have a, fridge and set it at like 36 degrees. And I've talked about, my bar downstairs and stuff, which might not play out. Like I said, it won't ruin my world, if I don't get to have my man cave. Because our little Ollie will figure it out. But, he'll be like Stewie, or whatever his name is on Family Guy, which is a cartoon I did not watch. But, it's just not really my style or whatever. Isn't he always like, he's like evil? Shit. There's the dog, which is like, isn't he smart too? Or he's like Captain Obvious or something. It seems like it's actually a pretty good cartoon. I probably would have liked it, but I didn't watch it, and I have no desire to like, binge on it. I just don't care. But yeah, Stewie, the what I do know about him reminds me of not Gene Hackman, but um, there's this other guy, not Christopher Walken. Uh, Damn, there was this movie. I'll have to watch it because it was a good one. It had Alec Baldwin in it. It's an old one. I remember watching it as a kid. He's the guy who played Hannibal Lecter in like the original one. What in the hell is his name? Hello, Clarice. That guy. Because there's probably more. That's why I say that. But there was this movie. I remember a line. They like took him on a trip and they were gonna off him and take his insurance money or something. Had Alec Baldwin on it, and he walked into this a cabin, and I don't know. This guy took a paddle off a wall, and somebody had said like, "This guy knows everything" or something, and he's all, "Oh yeah." He takes a paddle off, and he's all, "What's on the other side of this paddle?" He's all, "A rabbit smoking a pipe." He's all, "Oh no shit." He's all, "Why?" Or no, it was a panther or something. And what's on the other side? A rabbit smoking a pipe. Why is the rabbit smoking a pipe? Because the rabbit is unafraid. Why is the rabbit unafraid? Because the rabbit is smarter than the panther. Some shit like that. But it was a good movie. Man, I'll have to look it up. Hopefully I can find it. Well, if I can remember his name. Anyway. Oldies but goodies. It's kind of neat because I don't, I like movies. I've got a list, and a lot of times these movies that I think of because I'm so old and shit. A lot of my bitches and hoes and stuff. I don't know if they're interested in those types of movies, but a lot of them are like before they were born, or when they were really, really young. Movies that I watched as a kid, that were old when I was a kid, like Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. Dude, that's a classic. And that's like you want to watch that around Thanksgiving, but yeah, that's yeah, when we put our heads together, we've really gotten nowhere. Maybe we should split up. And John Candy, he's thinking he's gonna say something, like, we're getting there, little by little, we're making progress, and instead he's like, you know what, we just don't mix. You go your way, I'll go mine. Yeah, just a good, wholesome, family friendly movie. Oh, so yeah, beer. Yeah. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. The very first day that I feel that my liver has recovered, I think I'll go buy me. Like I said, a 6-pack. No more than one. And I can only like 2 or 3. Mixed drinks. I'd like to try like Manhattans and stuff and some shit. Bond. Jim's Bond. A dry martini. I am to eliminate all free radicals. Sounds dangerous. I did watch that. It was apparently there's a bunch. It was the one that he did. It came out in 1982. Bond, James Bond. Yeah, there's a few with him, Sean Connery. There's a few with Daniel Craig. I'll have to come up with a name for that. public service announcement. I'll have to put that on my list, otherwise I'll forget it. What was I gonna watch? I forgot already. I need to figure out what that movie was, and that's pretty much it. I'll put that on my to-do list. You know you got an easy life when your to-do list includes buy food. Work out. Oh, shucks. Eat. Oh, I won't forget that. Anyway.